Hey there, mind explorers. Today, we're unraveling one of the most intriguing mysteries of the human mind, psychopathy. Ever wondered if that charming coworker or the cool kid in class might be a psychopath? Well, stick around, because we're giving you 5 ways to recognize a psychopath. And trust me, you won't want to miss number 5. But before we start, remember, this is for educational purposes. Don't go diagnosing your friends just yet. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Superficial charm. Psychopaths are often incredibly charming and likable at first glance. They know exactly how to make a great first impression. Dr. Robert Hare, the leading expert on psychopathy, highlights this in his book, Without Conscience. They use charm as a tool to manipulate others. Imagine meeting someone at a party who immediately grabs your attention with their wit and charisma. They're funny, engaging, and seem genuinely interested in you. This charm is not genuine, but a calculated tactic to gain your trust and manipulate you. Ted Bundy, one of the most infamous serial killers, was known for his charisma and good looks, which he used to lure his victims. He seemed trustworthy and approachable, which made people let their guard down around him. This charm can also show up in everyday situations. A charming coworker might always have a smile and a compliment ready, making them very popular in the office. However, behind this facade, they might be manipulating situations to their advantage, using their charm to avoid responsibility or to influence others. Number 2. Lack of empathy. Empathy is what makes us human. It's our ability to feel and understand others' emotions. Psychopaths, however, lack this essential trait. They might seem cold or unresponsive to others' feelings. A study by Blair, Jones, Clark, and Smith found that psychopaths show reduced physiological responses to distress cues. This means that when they see someone in pain or distress, their brains don't react the same way ours do. For instance, if you see someone crying, you might feel a pang of sadness and want to comfort them. A psychopath, on the other hand, might see this as an opportunity to exploit the person's vulnerability. In a workplace scenario, a psychopathic manager might fire an employee without any regard for how it affects their life. They might say something like, "It's just business," and move on without a second thought. This lack of empathy also extends to personal relationships. If a psychopath's partner is upset, they may dismiss their feelings or even blame them for being too sensitive. This coldness can make relationships with psychopaths particularly damaging. Number 3. Pathological lying. Psychopaths are often habitual liars. They lie effortlessly and without guilt. They might lie to get what they want, to cover up their tracks, or just for fun. As Dr. Paul Ekman, an expert on deception, points out, they lie with such ease that it's hard to tell they're being dishonest. An example of this can be found in the case of Frank Abagnale, the con artist portrayed in the movie Catch Me If You Can. He lied his way into various high-profile positions, like a doctor and an airline pilot, all without any qualifications. His lies were so convincing that people believed him without question. Psychopaths often tell elaborate stories to gain sympathy, admiration, or trust. For instance, a psychopath might fabricate a tragic backstory to gain sympathy from coworkers or to justify their erratic behavior. These lies are often detailed and plausible, making them difficult to detect. When caught in a lie, they rarely show any guilt or remorse. Instead, they might spin another lie to cover up the first one or turn the blame on the accuser. Number 4. Lack of remorse. Psychopaths don't feel guilt or remorse for their actions, no matter how harmful. They may hurt others and not feel any regret or responsibility. In his research, Dr. Hare found that psychopaths have a reduced capacity for remorse, which often leads to repeated harmful behavior. Take Bernie Madoff, for example, who ran the largest Ponzi scheme in history. He defrauded thousands of investors out of billions of dollars and showed little to no remorse for the financial ruin he caused. Even after his arrest, he remained detached and unemotional about the lives he had destroyed. This lack of remorse can be seen in smaller, everyday actions as well. A psychopathic student might cheat on an exam and not feel guilty about it, rationalizing it as necessary to get ahead. Or a psychopath in a relationship might cheat on their partner without any feelings of guilt, seeing it as their right to do whatever they want. This indifference to the consequences of their actions can make psychopaths particularly dangerous in both personal and professional settings. Number 5. Impulsivity and irresponsibility. Psychopaths often live in the moment and fail to think about the consequences of their actions. They can be reckless and make impulsive decisions without considering the risks. Research by Patrick, Fowles, and Kruger suggests that this impulsivity is a core feature of psychopathy. For example, they might engage in risky behaviors like reckless driving, gambling, or substance abuse. Think of a person who repeatedly gets into trouble for breaking the law, but never seems to learn from their mistakes. They act on a whim without any thought for the future or the potential fallout. In a more everyday context, a psychopathic individual might change jobs frequently, quit without notice, or make big purchases on a whim without considering their financial situation. This impulsivity also extends to relationships, where they might enter and leave relationships quickly, often leaving a trail of hurt feelings behind them. Their inability to plan ahead and consider the consequences of their actions often leads to chaotic and unstable lives. So there you have it. The 5 ways to recognize a psychopath: superficial charm, lack of empathy, pathological lying, lack of remorse, and impulsivity. Remember though, spotting 1 or 2 of these traits doesn't make someone a psychopath. It's the combination of these traits that's key. If you found this video interesting, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an episode. And drop a comment below. What topic should we explore next? Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep exploring the mind.